the Wishbone Lineman squat. It is an awesome squat variation performed in an angle. When it comes to loading, you can load from the bar. So that means you don't load the Wishbone first. You put weight there. You can also add weight from the pegs on the side. That is optional. All right. So to rack the Wishbone, you can do it two ways. Okay. Regardless, you're gonna come from behind, and you can do it in an athletic stand. You come underneath athletic stand, get under, grab the handle, and lift. Or my personal is a split stand. It's just a personal preference. I get from grappling, judo, wrestling. I like to go this way. See? Go this way, get under, lift. And then to clear the bar from the stand, make sure you take at least two side steps. So two side steps, do not cross over like this. Okay? We tend to be lazy. And sometimes I catch myself doing that. No good. So I'm going to move further to my right so I can be on the rubber floor. Okay. Now the setup for the lineman squat is pretty simple. You need to find that 90-degree angle bar to body. Okay. And what is that? How that feels? It feels like you're going to be on the ball of your feet. Okay. It's almost like you feel you're going to be jumping. It's almost like a broad jump. Okay. So, and you're going to be hip width. Okay. Not necessarily shoulder width. Okay. Which is more traditional. Okay. We have found that hip width tends to be more joint friendly. Okay. So once you get in that angle, okay, 90-degree bar to body, notice that your heel should be naturally up, not collapse. Okay. So for example, if you are over 90, you're going to look more like this. See, the angle here is over 90. Okay. And what happens most common is that people stand kind of almost straight, like a traditional squat. The last thing you want to do is to treat the lineman squat like a traditional back squat or vertical squat. Okay, so you don't want to start here. The moment you start going down, you feel like the system is pushing back. No good. So you feel you're at 90. So when you squat at least at 90 degrees on your knees, it all feels natural. Okay, you're in the ball of your feet. There's a lot of tension between your quads and your hips. It's a nice blend. Okay. Now, that's at 90, that's what you're going to reach maximal tension right here. But if you really want to, let's say, go all the way down, ass to the grass, like they say, okay? So make sure you have your right footprint and then go all the way down. Okay? That feels pretty comfortable. Actually, that's almost an Asian squat. Okay? But again, it's salt to taste. If you want to go that deep, you could. Okay? So for the most part, we're going to be about half, maybe a little bit below half right here. Okay? Well, I don't want to do a split yet, so I'm going to keep it bilateral. Okay? Yeah, this is the Wishbone lineman squat. And the reason we do it, let me put it back here for a second. The justification of the lineman squat is to leverage the overrated gravity-based squat pattern, like front squat, back squat. They're all squat variation, but they're all vertical. And outside the gym, in the football field, not too far from here, every time, for example, football athletes, D-line, O-line, when the ball is snapped, they're always going to go forward in this direction. Okay? They're never going to go straight up. That doesn't mean the lineman squat apply only for football guys. Every sport that perform on the field, on the court, on the mat, like grappling, wrestling, judo, you're going to be performing squat patterns that are nothing but vertical. You're always going to be performing a squat pattern that has, forward lean, lateral lean, or backward lean. But the lineman squat focus more on that, diagonal force line, which is the resultant of, you got that right, gravity, okay? So we have here gravity and friction, which is the horizontal, the X line, okay? And my body is the diagonal line. In trigonometry, that will be the hypotenuse, but in terms of force vectors is the resultant, okay? So let me show you one more time what I'm talking about. When it comes to force line, that more than justify performing this squat pattern for athletics or even for fitness is that it brings the diagonal angle. The diagonal angle is the resultant of gravity, which is the x-axis or the vertical line, like right here. Okay, well, actually, let's take the peg, and then we're going to throw here a vertical line, which is gravity. Okay, and then the frictional force, which is the x-axis or the horizontal line, which is from the floor all the way back to the ball of my feet. The angle of my body, okay, which is it's 90 to the bar, but it's the hypotenuse of the right triangle, and the resultant of that um, of the vertical and the horizontal force line is, okay, it's right here. Those two forces, gravity and friction, result in the diagonal angle represented by my body. Okay? So it is a requirement. This movement, this squat pattern, it is a requirement in athletics. If you perform a need analysis as a strength coach, force line, force vector should be a must in your need analysis to make sure that you load it in the weight room. Did you guys notice that I kept my glasses? This is the Wishbone lineman squat.